This week, the trial of P Diddy, or Sean John Combs, began in New York. The 55-year-old rapper, record producer and record executive is charged with transportation to engage in prostitution, sex trafficking and racketeering, which refers to dishonest and fraudulent business dealings. So what is this trial going to look like? Who will be involved and what are we likely to learn? Experts have warned that any celebrity involved in Combs's supposed freak-offs, and they're the freak-off parties that you may have heard about, should be concerned, and many have speculated that we will likely hear the names of other people who have participated. Jurors were on Monday presented with a questionnaire to assess their suitability to the case, so the court might be checking for any associations or prejudicial feelings towards celebrities that may be called as witnesses during the trial. Names that were on that questionnaire included basketballer Michael B. Jordan, actor and comedian Mike Myers, as well as rappers Kid Cudi and Kanye West. On the first day of the trial, the New York court heard claims that Combs made a male escort urinate in his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura's mouth and threatened to release images of her having sex with male escorts. Lawyer Emily Johnson has said this is just the tip of the iceberg. If found guilty of these crimes, Combs is looking at a potential life sentence. Holly, what do you think we are going to see over the coming weeks?
I think we're going to see, and we're already seeing it, a lot of almost titillating sensationalist headlines about kinky sex parties and extreme behaviours that lots of people participated in. At a group level at least. This is because Combs' defense is basically, like in a nutshell, is, we lived a wild life and people loved these parties and everyone involved was consenting and paid. And this is just how we do, right? Like that's basically his kind of defense for this sort of very particular subset of rich and powerful people having a great time. The problem is, and his defense argue that the women who are bringing, and there are some men, of course, too, but the women who are bringing cases against him and saying they were coerced, he's saying actually these are just people who had a bit of a different sex life, he's saying, and calling, she's saying, his defense attorney is a woman, and calling these women capable, strong women who had the freedom to make the choices that they made. The problem is, of course, and this is what the prosecution are going to lean hard into, is that at the center of this case is this video of Diddy assaulting his former partner, who appears in lots of these stories, Cassie Ventura. And, well, you know, I'm sure that many people listening to this have seen either that video or glimpses of that video or heard about it. It's incredibly disturbing. And so the idea that and she was with him for years and features in a lot of these stories, the idea that she was free to leave at any time is rather negated by the fact that there are witnesses saying that they saw her trying to leave and she was violently made to stay. I guess everything about this story is grim. And because a lot of the names in it are high profile and exciting, there's a sort of, we're going to see wall-to-wall coverage, and some of it's going to feel a bit like an ordinary celebrity trial. And I just feel like we need to hold at the center of it that a lot of the things that are being talked about being done to women at this are not ordinary, and and they have said over and over again that it wasn't a choice. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
The defense said in its opening, in their opening statement, that the government has no place in this man's private bedrooms, which again is to your point, Holly, that they are suggesting that these are private sexual acts that were consented to, and we don't know what the court will find. But also, Cassie Ventura, she can be interested in whatever sex she is or isn't interested in, and that doesn't preclude her from being a victim. And it seems sometimes in a court that there's an sort of an assumption that it does, and in fact she enjoyed all of this. Well, she can have enjoyed A and not have wanted B. And so these cases are always, especially for victims of sexual assault, I think that they're incredibly confronting, and it's going to be particularly confronting because experts think that there is vision of a lot of what occurred, and there could be tapes played in this courtroom. And some victims claim that they were made to look like they enjoyed things, or they were under the influence of drugs in those particular videos. But it will be very damning for a number of celebrities, and there will be celebrities named over the next 8 to 10 weeks.